I'm Simon Calvert, and I'm here today with Peter and Hazelmary Bull. They run a bed and breakfast in Cornwall, and most people know their story. They were sued for their Christian policy of only giving double beds in their B&B to married couples. Well, that's the reason why most people know them, but what you don't know is that, well, don't you have a rather special event coming up in the calendar, Hazelmary?
So I believe. So in 9 days' time, we celebrate 50 years of married life together.
So Peter, what is the secret of your success? What makes a good marriage? How have you managed to make it work for 50 years?
What a question.
Yeah.
There is so many things. It's love, it's consideration for each other, it's helping each other. If one person is sick, it's looking after them. Which again, either way, it is just a companionability between two people who are, well, in my way, made for each other. The Lord stepped in. We met. We weren't Christians. We weren't saved. The Lord stepped in and put this woman in front of me, and I thought I'd like to marry her sometime. So I proposed to her.
And you said yes?
Yeah, I thought we hadn't got anything like Pete in Cornwall. And I thought this was all happening in London, and I hadn't got anything like that at home. And I thought, this is an amazing chance. Of course I said yes, because he was, in my view, he was unique. And I was of an age where I'd had other relationships, and I understood that, well, he was really something else. So, yeah, I grabbed him.
And tell us, I've asked him what he thinks the secret of your success is. Would you give the same answer?
Yeah, I think tolerance, making room for each other is important. Just understanding that really, when you think about it, marriage is so, on the face of it, seems like it's sure to fail, because you take two completely different people often, and you put them together in a relationship where they're together 24/7, and yet in some wonderful way it actually succeeds. But it's not all roses round the door. And we have had some tough times. We've had times when we've been tough on each other. But I have to say that once we were converted, there is a cement then that comes in, because there are definitely three people in our relationship, and that is Pete and myself and the Lord Jesus. And sometimes when we're not listening to each other, at least we can talk to him, and everything's back to what we
the bad
would call
moments
normal.
only last a very, very short time.
Yeah.
Should there be any bad? And there's bound to be. There's bound to be. You're two separate people. But there is a link between the two of you which just keeps you together.
We're told that fewer and fewer people want to get married these days. Why do you think that people should make the commitment of marriage?
I do believe the facts. I believe the studies and the surveys that have been done, and they all put a positive spin on traditional marriage, that especially children do far better in every area of their lives if they have a home, a mum and a dad. And I believe in that family group. I believe it was heaven sent, and I'm sorry to see it being so eroded these days. I actually believe that it's being eroded out of ignorance, because people are not being taught that God set the whole thing up in the first place and that he delights in it. And I believe if they knew a bit more about that side of it, the spiritual side of marriage, maybe they'd be better able to commit to the relationship and make it work.
Well, Peter and Hazelmary, thank you for talking to us about your marriage. We know how important marriage is to you, and you are an example to us. And on behalf of the Christian Institute, we obviously wish you a very happy 50th anniversary.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.